And welcome back, guys. We're going to do another test review now. So carrying on with the 2019 range, and now we're moving on to the Road King 114 Special. For me, this is the first time that I would have been on a Road King Special. And the difference between the 2019 version versus 2018 is that the 2019 has the 114 engine. But in terms of differences, even the colour scheme, that's where it stops. The Road King Special fits into that touring family of Harley Davidson, but for me it's kind of a bit of an odd one because it doesn't have the front screen to give you that wind protection which would help over those long distances. In terms of the styling itself, it's super sick. It's completely blacked out, which for me really floats my boat. The other great aspect is that you've got the saddlebags as well, and as always with the touring range, you've got some real good quality finishings here along with some nice waterproof sealing. As we go to sit on the bike, in terms of the ergonomics, very similar to the other touring bikes in the 2019 range, you've got the foot pedals which give you a more of a forward seated position. In terms of the seating itself, I've got a nice bit of a hump here, which is a bit of a back support on my lumbar, which is good. Seat's nice and comfortable. And in terms of the handlebars, then similar to the Street Glide and the Road Glide in terms of positioning, they are just below my shoulder line. In terms of the control, as with all Harley Davidsons, it is very, very simplistic. In front of you here, you've got this turn dial which simply goes to the ignition and starts up the bike. On the right hand side here are the right controls. We've got engine, stop, start, hazards and self-cancelling indicator on the right. Over the left hand side you've got headlights, main beams, the horn, which is quite loud. You've got the self-cancelling indicator on the left hand side, and then you've got cruise control, which is a nice feature here. You've also then got your cycle button or trip button over here, so that takes you through the miles that the bike has done, which currently is 67, trip A, which is 53.4 miles, trip B, and then your reserve 173 miles, so plenty of ride-in time today on this thing. In this test review we'll be going through the manoeuvrability of the bike, the speed, the touring capabilities. We'll be going to a lovely part of the world called Beachy Head, which has got some great views. If you're a subscriber, you will know where we're going. Without further ado, let's get going on this Road King. So I've been on this bike now for a couple of minutes, and I must admit, I think because I've been spoilt with the other tourers, the Road Glide and the Street Glide Special, I've had that protection from the wind, and now being on the Road King Special, I just feel a little bit exposed. I can feel all the wind, I can hear all the wind noise, and I'm not having a pleasant experience as I was on the other bikes, but that's just a personal opinion. It is raw after all, and if you're going for that look, then that's the trade that you've got to have. But in terms of the ergonomics itself, the way the handlebars are positioned are really nice. They do feel slightly wider than shoulder width, which is interesting. So I think they are wider than the Street Glide and Road Glide bars. In terms of the foot positioning, similar to the other tourers, your feet are in a slightly forward position on the footboards, and on top of it all I'm sitting on this fluffy cloud. So overall I'm feeling super comfortable. So coming up to the first part of the test is the manoeuvres. So we're going to go around the roundabout, right indicator on. So I'm going to do a full 360 and see what this feels like. So for me, I can really lean this thing in. I've got no issues with the front end caving in on me, and to be fair, it's a perfectly balanced bike in that aspect. And then when you open it up, you've just got that power as well from the 114. So what I want to do is get up to 60 miles an hour and see what this bike feels like, because after all this is a tourer. So again guys, I am thinking touring in the back of my mind here, so bear that in mind in my feedback. As I'm travelling at 60, I am now getting battered by the winds. On a long journey, this is going to be a little bit challenging, but in terms of the comfort, it feels great, no issues at all. And in terms of the vibrations coming through the handlebars, very similar to the touring class. The road glides and the street glides, nothing at all either. One of the things that I am noticing, because I've been on those other touring bikes, the infotainment system and the way the dials are positioned, I can see very easily how fast I'm going, and I know where all my instruments are. With the Road King, now bear in mind I've got a full face helmet on, I've personally got to look there, and that's where I can see everything. So it does take my eye off the road for a second or so. But what I must admit is that the styling of this bike looks mean. The black makes it look really good. And it is, you know, aesthetically it is a good looking bike. It's coming into the national speed limit. See what this bike is like. And as with all the Tourers, it's just got some real sweet handling. I can just bend it in nicely. I'm not tussling with it. It just performs really well. And I say the same thing all the time. If you're going to go touring and take a lot more weight, could be up to 20-25 stone, plus the luggage and the saddlebags, then you want something that's got the power that you can throw about. And these things can absolutely do it. Other thing that I'm noticing on this is the clutch is really nice. It's much nicer than the other Tourer, but they are the same. That's the hydraulic clutch from Harley Davidson. Let's do a rolling start in first gear. Let's open it up. Second. And we're at 60 already. With these 114s again, I just love the peppiness of them. They're really good. You can imagine you get a stage 1 on it and really let that oxygen in with a proper exhaust system. This thing will be sweet. Nice left turn, and here we are coming out onto that countryside. And this is where the Tourer feels at home. Nice overtake here, like so. Just testing that acceleration out, and it's got that bang. And as we're going through more twisties, one of those things that you've got to rely on is brakes. And again, with these Tourers, they come with the Brembos, and for me that is a great braking system, especially with the dual linkage braking system. So as I've always explained in the other vlogs, the other reviews, if you press the front brake, then the rear brake will engage. Coming into another national speed limit, and again, because those brakes are so good, I just feel like I've got so much more confidence on it. And I guess the other side of this is because it's so raw, you see everything much clearer around you, what's, you know, in front of you, etc. So I feel like I can push it a little bit more. So it's a left turn. What I love is that this Tourer, again, because it's so raw, I feel like I can push it a bit more. Nice right bend, then left, really leaning in, well, from my perspective anyway. So overall through the twisties, the bike had really good performance. So overall, what do I think? In all honesty, I asked myself the question of, would I buy this bike? Now I revert to, if I was touring, if I was doing the miles, if I was going to take a pillion, would I go for this option? And I've got to be really honest guys, I wouldn't. I would go straight to the Sport Glide and Road Glide. However, the other side of it is that if you want something that's raw, then this may be the right bike for you. But I just think for £2,000 upwards, the Street Glide and the Road Glide would be a better option. So that is the end of my test review guys. Please make sure if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you follow the channel as well. But as always, make sure you stay safe on those roads. All the best, Motonewbrider.